Hello everyone, this is Ann Nicole with Canterbury Card Designs here for Kat Scrappiness today. Today I'm going to be showing you how to color the new Stick It To Me Voodoo Doll stamp from Kat Scrappiness. So I'm going to take some Distress inks in Twisted Citron and Pine Needles, add a little bit of water, and I'm going to get to watercoloring this really fun image. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water, and I'm going to put down my base coat in Twisted Citron, and then I'll start layering it with pine needles to make it a little bit darker. So here I'm mixing a little bit of the two together. So this is a lot of fun. If you don't have any watercolor paints, but you have inks, this is a super fast, easy, fun, simple way to watercolor your images. So I stamped this image in antique linen distress ink. This is what you usually use for some no-line watercoloring. So at the end, you'll see what I mean. The antique linen will basically be dissolved. You won't see it. So I stamped it on some Strathmore 140-pound cold-pressed watercolor paper. And I'm just being careful here to go around this eye, which is a button. And I'm just going to put 4 little dots of the button inside there. And now I'm going to start going back around and doing some shading. Basically, this is your own personal preference. You just do as much, as little as you like. Just pick which side you want the light source to be coming from. You can use a heat tool here as well to speed up the drying process if you'd like to. I didn't bother doing that. I just kind of moved on to the lower half of the image and let the top half dry on its own. It really dries pretty quick. You can also use the reinkers for this process as well if you'd like. Just add a little bit of shading there. And if you check out my YouTube channel, Canterbury Card Designs, you'll be able to watch a video of me coloring this with Distress reinkers in purple. So I'm just adding some shading here underneath the arms and below the heart. And you'll see as I go along the edges, you'll just see the edges in the antique linen just kind of fade away. So I'm just going to make the button circles a little bit darker. My brushes are just some synthetic watercolor brushes that I got on Amazon. Now I'm going to go back in here with purple. And this is Wilted Violet. If you don't have distress inks, you can also use distress oxide inks as well. Just gives you a little bit of a different look. So you can see here I had a little bit of bleeding. So I hit this with my heat tool and then went back in and cleaned up those edges a little bit. So I just cleaned up those edges a little bit, added a little bit of darker shade there, and then kind of blended it outwards. So if you're doing something right up against another image that's a little bit wet, it's a good idea to hit it with your heat tool before moving on to another color. Now here I added a little bit of fossilized amber and twisted citron back again to these areas just to kind of create like a little bit of a lighter source. Just to kind of give it a little highlight there. And now I'll come back in and put some shading in on that heart. If you are enjoying this video, I would encourage you to hit the subscribe button and the like button. We would very much appreciate that. And head on over to the Kat Scrappiness website and check out this new stamp. And we have some amazing coordinating cardstocks, Halloween cardstocks to go with this. So I'm going to hit this with my heat tool again. And now we're going to work on that button. So I'm using some carved pumpkin distress oxide ink. I'm sorry, rather distress ink, not the oxides. I didn't use the oxides. So I'm going in with it a little bit darker around the edge of the button, and then I'm going to just take a little bit of water on my brush and then bring that forward into the center to make the center a little bit lighter. Being careful not to hit the 4 circles that I did in green. So now I'm going to just take a gel pen and I'm going to draw back on the eye and the mouth. And what I really like about this is, you know, the antique linen, you can still see through the distress inks after your watercolor. So it's easy to go back in and draw your lines. So I did the eye, the mouth, I did the pins, I did the stitching around the heart and the stitching on the legs. This part I just did with a Sharpie actually. And then added the stitching back to the legs. I love how this turned out. It's so adorable. This is such a fun image. And now with my Sharpie to make the stitch in the button. And now I'm going to add some glossy accents to that button to make the button look a little bit shiny. Gives it a little bit of dimension too. And there you have it. Here is the finished card. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Like I said, please hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you again in another video real soon. Bye-bye.